I was talking with a colleague the other day who shared with me how he engages with his next actions list. And he pretty much said that he mostly uses time blocking to get through his list. So he'll grab something from a next actions list, throw it on his calendar for when he's going to work on it. And that's how he'll get through a next actions list. And I shared that I don't use time blocking in that way. And he kind of looked at me like, well, how do you get things done? So I figured I would share in this video how I interact with my next actions list without having to time block very often. So I will say that this works well for me because I tend to have a lot of white space over the course of a week, so I don't find that I need to time block very often. There are some instances where I do need to, if I maybe have a tight deadline coming up or I have a day where I don't have a lot of white space and I want to make sure I kind of save some space, some time just for myself for other things that I want to work on. But in general, I don't find the need to do time blocking too much. But what I am able to do is when I've done the other 4 parts of the workflow, so I've captured, clarified, organized, and reviewed everything, the engage step is a natural next step, right? It's almost like walking. If you lift your foot up, you lean forward, eventually the only thing that you can do is kind of put your foot down. Naturally, it's going to happen if things are working in that regard. So when it comes to that engage stage, it's also kind of a measure for me of how well my system's working for me. If I get to a next actions list or I get to some white space on my calendar and I decide that I want to engage, is there any friction? Are there any barriers? Is there any resistance to doing that? And if there is, sometimes that means if it's friction on a particular next action, it might mean that I need to clarify that next action more. If it's friction on a particular project, I might need to do a project review. So sometimes in that engage stage, I realize I need to kind of step back a step and I need to go back and maybe clarify a little bit more. I need to do a review for a project review. So any kind of resistance to getting straight through that engage stage is also a sign for me if things aren't working very well. The self-management piece is key for me to being successful with engage. For me, productivity is about producing, right? That's the root of the word. And I think, what are you producing with your productivity? Yes, I'm getting things done, but so much about getting things done GTD, the methodology is about appropriate engagement. So if I've decided that I want to spend the weekend with my daughter going to San Francisco on an impromptu trip, I feel confident and comfortable that I will, with the 48 hours that I have over the weekend, produce that enhanced relationship where I will have fed into that area of focus for me, even if it wasn't on a next actions list or a projects list or anything like that. Because I've gone through all of the other stages, my engage opportunities don't have to be on my next actions list. And for me, that's really important, but I wouldn't feel comfortable and confident engaging in that way if I didn't know what was already on my list, if I hadn't already done a review and looked at all of my next actions lists and decided, you know what, of all of the things that are on all of my lists, if my daughter wants to go on an impromptu trip, let's just go, we'll do that. And there's nothing on my list that's going to explode or fall apart or anything like that that is more important, that will produce something of higher value to me than being able to enhance my relationship with my daughter. So that's what I wanted to share. And if you are liking what you see from this channel, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button. That way we know what content you like, which content you don't like. Thanks for watching.